Hey y'all from Spindle Mountain Mercantile. Welcome to our first video of Iron Orchid Designs 2026 Spring Release, Transfer Edition. And let me tell you, it's been a thing. We had a huge storm come through. That's us, up in that dark blue. It took my delivery 2 extra days to get here. And then of course Mama couldn't drive over because this is what our town looked like. And here's a picture from my very own front yard. Finally, we got together with Mama and boy oh boy was she excited.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I knew you'd love that.
oh yes.
Wait.
Oh, I got a place for it. Well, I get to work on them this week.
You get to work on them today.
So we can display them. Oh, I'm speechless. Yes. Oh yes. 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 Ah. That's what I've been wanting.
You think people are going to like them?
You're going to love them. You are going to love them.
What else are we doing?
We're going to put them on the web. That's going to be so much fun. People all over the United States can see what I'm making.
All right, let's get to making.
All right, we are. I'm ready.
You know, while I was snowed in, I couldn't wait for Mama, so I started with project number 1. Here's what IOD has to say about our first transfer. The Madeline 8-page 12x16 transfer pad is reminiscent of vintage Parisian decor with artwork so decadent and luscious you can almost feel the richness of the original paint. The florals are vibrant, full, and deeply saturated, and the style closely echoes the Saint Germain collection, likely by the same unnamed artist whose work has long inspired us. The name Madeline was chosen as a nod to a small French town near Saint Germain, tying it back to the origins of the artwork. Several elements, including the flowing ribbons, were hand-painted by a contemporary artist, Annie Quigley, specifically for this collection to complement the vintage roses, birds, bows, and swags found in the original compilations. Designed with small decor and furniture scale in mind, Madeline includes corners, borders, drawer backer motifs, and full bouquets that can stand alone as focal elements. My friend Sherry gifted me this laundry sign. She bought it a while ago and said I could zhuzh it up. That's exactly what she bought it for, and she just never did. It's been sitting in a closet, so thank you, Sherry. Appreciate that. I am not doing anything to prep this. I thought about painting the wood. I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to tape it. Applying IOD transfers is so easy. Your space has to be clean and dry. Make sure if you've painted, it's very dry. And then put it down exactly where you want it. And when you know it's in place, just kind of give it a good cursory rub with your hand. Okay, y'all, I gotta tell you something. I'm editing right now, and my video is 48 minutes long. I was giving you a thorough lesson in how to apply IOD transfers, and I decided now is not the time. Now is the time to look at our new transfers, and I have lots of videos where I show people how to apply them, so we can do more of that later, and you can go back and look at those. So right now there's going to be about 10 or more minutes of lost footage. Let's just bask in the glory that is IOD Spring Release 2026. I decided to seal the wood for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's most likely going to be in a laundry room, and number 2, I wanted the sheen on the wood to match the sheen on the sign. And y'all, when I got done with this, I squealed. I think you would too if you saw it in person. Check this out. Project number 2.
Transfer I'm going to use is out of the Emily Claire book.
Listen while I read what IOD has to say about this transfer book. The Emily Claire 8-page 8x12 transfer pad comes from one of our favorite archive finds to date. Taken from an 1868 family album belonging to Miss Emily Claire Harvey, the artwork began as her pencil and watercolor illustrations lovingly added around her family's portraits. The Cooper Hewitt preserved the album, and when we discovered it, Sam, our senior designer, and Sally immediately fell in love with its whimsical, beautifully hand-painted details. The set includes charming elements like kittens, hummingbirds, butterflies, banners, and even a proud little rooster, each one quirky, delicate, and full of character. I sure got a lot of things painted during that snowstorm, and Mama's goose was one of them. I used Haint Blue from Debbie's DIY Cottage Colors.
It fits perfectly in here with butterflies and pretty flowers. I'm gently rubbing it on. Okay, we start.
I've been trying to get her to lift it up while she rubs, but
I know it. You'd think she'd give up after a while.
you'd think she'd know who I got my stubborn streak from. She kept doing it this way, and yes, it did work. I love that about IOD. There's lots of different ways to use it. Why are you rubbing her tummy?
She got butterflies. I'm burnishing it so it'll make it stick good.
Okay. She really does know what she's doing, y'all. She just started this last year, too, so I'm pretty proud of her. Now she's trying to decide where to put some bees and butterflies. There's a bunch of butterflies that match the ones inside that frame, and a lot of other elements, too. Mama added the bees, the butterflies, and she found some really pretty floral for the neck.
I took a piece that was curved like that, and I trimmed it off so I could put this up. And this beautiful goose has a blue eye. We found this pretty little thing with the same blue flowers, and it says Amazing Grace. So that's the name of my goose. It's Grace.
I like that you named your goose, Mama. My friend Sherry shared some of her beautiful flowers, and Mama picked some out and added those with a little bit of velvet ribbon and some beads. And now little Miss Grace is amazing. Project number 3. Hey, honey,
Yes.
I need a favor.
What?
I want to turn a board into a little riser, so I need 4 little legs.
Do you have 3 more of these?
I do?
That's where I'll get 4 identical legs.
Okay, but this is going to be kind of radical, and I don't know if you can do it, because I know you like things to be just so. I want you to cut them all out of this.
They won't match.
But the length will match, right?
Yes.
They're going to be my matching mismatched legs. And look, I even brought a Sharpie, so you know where I want them. So I thought you could start with this one.
There.
Yeah. And then the other 3 need to have some kind of a design, so we can't use this whole thing. But oh, okay, here's one. And I don't know where this mark will be, but it would be whatever is the same with that one, okay? And then this, can you cut it in half right here? And then make one this way and one this way. So these fancy parts will be at the bottom. Can you do that?
Yes. And I'll just use the calipers to make sure they're all the same height.
But I mean, you won't like go into convulsions or anything because
My sense of continuity will be disrupted.
I appreciate it.
Okay, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Because of that continuity he has, if this was his design, he would fill in those holes and the cracks and he would put it in clamps and make it look perfect. But I want it to look old. So he's going to suffer through for me. And he's just going to glue these on.
I wouldn't use a screw. If I used anything, I would use a dowel.
And why is that?
Screws and nails are just to hold it in place till the glue dries. I think this is a gauge.
Okay.
I guess you could call them calipers.
All right. This is called jaws. So you open up the jaws and you put one of the jaws on the top and one of the jaws on the bottom. And it kind of locks into place. It doesn't really lock. It snugly fits. And you put it on the one you want to use as your base measurement. Then you measure all of the rest using that same lock or, firmly in place part. All these ladies out there love when you tell them these things. No clever comment?
No clever comment.
Did you ever have so many lovely ladies loving the things you do?
No, not likely.
Don't you wish you were this popular in high school?
No. I'm perfectly happy to have been under the radar.
Okay.
You might recall that I said that the glue is stronger than the wood, and the wood would give before the glue did. This fell off the end of the couch where I set it precariously. It proved my point because a big chunk of wood came out with the leg.
I'm painting the top and sides with Debbie's DIY and crinoline, and y'all, it only took one good coat. Here's a reminder of what my paint looks like before I start. So y'all who will notice that I have lumps of stuff in my paint will understand that I knew that ahead of time. A lot of people would throw this out, and you know what? That's okay. Throw it out don't throw it out. Give it to somebody who likes it. I promise you, there's a lot of people like me out there who still like to paint with contaminated paint. It just occurred to me you might not know the story of the contaminated crinoline paint, and I keep trying not to say crusty crinoline because that doesn't sound right, but I digress. So I discovered one day this paint had fallen, and it could have been weeks later, I don't know, but it was hot and it was humid, and it was in my shack. It didn't open all the way. It only opened like less than a half of an inch. So only a little paint pooled, and then it got hard. And as it got hard, of course, the can rusted. So I picked it up and tried to break off all those rusty, big, huge chunks of paint, and they just kind of shattered and fell into the paint. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, I love crinoline. What am I going to do? Well, I put salt in my paint. I put baking powder or baking soda, whatever, in my paint. I put sand in my paint, for goodness sakes. I think this will work. And guess what? It does. This whole sheet is birds that, I don't know if they're in brambles, but they have like little thorns coming out of some of the branches. And I had already used some of the birds in this, and that's okay. I can fill that in with other stuff. I feel like it looks better this way because if you're going to put this riser on a table, you're not going to stand at the end of the table. I feel like people will be looking from the side, and I think the top and the bottom should be the wide parts. So I'm going to cut off those brambles that go over the top. I was more concerned right here with cutting carefully than I was where my camera was pointed, but you can tell I'm cutting these branches off where they connect to the branch from which they came. So the widest part of the branch, I'm cutting it right off at that. Before I apply that transfer, I want to show you these spots. Those are tannins. I'm not sure of the science, but it's something from the wood. I think it's oils that comes up and it seeps through your paint. And I don't care how many layers of paint you put on it, it is near impossible to cover it up. So Debbie Beard from Debbie's DIY has a fantastic product called Salvation Solution. It comes in clear and white. If you use that as a primer over wood, you don't have to worry about tannins, and it is like a miracle. It's also a great primer if you can't get your paint to stick to something like plastic or metal. But don't forget, I'm using my Rusty Crusty Crinoline. I'm going to wet distress this and sand it, so I want that old look, and this will just add to the look I'm going for. Okay, we're going to go ahead and apply this. My paint's really dry. I'm just lining up the bottom with the grid lines, and it looks pretty even here, and the sides look even. Y'all, I've lost another, for real? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I do believe I've opened up 5 of these today. Here it is on my other couch. I think this will go on quite well, fairly easily. Well, we'll see. You know, it always surprises me, the things that don't go on well. It's like, hey, I didn't see that one coming. And guess what? My paint wasn't dry all the way in about 3 places, so I ruined just a little bit of the transfer. It's okay though. I'm putting those brambles down so it will cover up those spots perfectly. I figured out the placement of all of my bramble branches, and then I set the thing aside and I left it alone for a few hours because I was going to make dang sure that stinking paint was dry. I'm warning you right now, if you don't want to see me ruin that little yellow butterfly, close your eyes or leave the room. Go get a soda. Go get yourself a cherry RC. They're so good, and Dollar General has them. Anywho, it's in the way if I'm going to put a big bramble branch there. And I think I need something big because that's a big old empty space. It's okay. He couldn't fill a thing. Yes, they applied easily because, yes, the paint was dry. After I had all those brambles on, I got a wet towel and wrung it out. We use towels, we don't use wet wipes. Mama says it's because we're cheap, and yeah, it's true. I went over all of the edges, including the corners on the sides. I did just a couple of places. I picked a big patch like this one. And then I went over the knots and I really worked on those. And usually I go with the grain or the paint strokes, or both in this case. But with those knots right here, I did kind of wiggle my finger around on those and they turned out really good. I decided this needed to have 2 coats of liquid patina. You could also use Big Top, which is a really durable sealer and top coat. But again, it's not with me, so I didn't want to go get it. And this worked out beautiful. I love this. This is, it will go in so many different styles and match so much different decor. I hope y'all like it too. In the comments, let me know if you do. If you don't, it's okay. You don't have to tell me that. Project number 3. I've told y'all, let people know that you like to upcycle things and they'll give you stuff. My AJ gave me this strapping fabric. They're like strips of super heavy duty burlap kind of fabric that you put on the frame of a chair when you're upholstering it, or, you know, other furniture. I'm not sure exactly how it goes on. I think you nail it or tack it. Anyway, I'm making something pretty with it. First, I'm using my handy dandy little iron my mama got me for Christmas. I'll try to find one of these on Amazon, but she got this one at Walmart. It's amazing. I got rid of my big iron. I picked out 3 little frames with flowers around them. They're so cute. I thought these would look good and complement each other if someone bought all of them together. I gave my husband a piece of the strapping fabric and asked if he could make some hangers, and here's what he came up with. He wrapped copper wire around some different size of pipe, and then he folded the ends together and put this rubber over it. I think this rubber is just some electrical wire that he tore the guts out of. So he took the pieces of wire out and it just left the rubber, and he put the ends in there, and that way somebody won't get poked with them. I'm going to ask him to make more of these. I can't wait to get some in black, all different colors. There's all kinds of wire out there. I wanted to put the transfers on the burlap before I attach them to the wire, so I know exactly how much room I have. I left a little bit extra burlap on either side. In fact, I didn't even cut the bottom of this one until I put the transfer on. And right here I'm showing you, I have already rubbed it a lot, and you can see some little white specks. That's where the transfer is pulling away from the carrier sheet. That's how easily it's attaching to this fabric. I used my fingernail some because it really got down in the grooves of that big wide fabric, but I realized if I used just the corner of my transfer stick, it did very well. On another one, I realized if I went up and down, it worked better than at this angle. I mean, they were both fine and they both turned out really good, but it released so much faster if I went straight up and down that fabric. I absolutely recommend burnishing with your finger when you do fabric. Do not go rubbing it. Like I just shook my arm across there. That's because first you want to pounce. You want to push your finger down, not pounce. You just want to use really good firm pressure. And there's some places like if the rose is bigger or like the frame is wider, you can rub that, but make sure you mostly just press up and down really hard, and that will burnish it. Now I'm using a 2-ply napkin that's folded over, so that's 4 plies, and I'm using my hottest setting on my iron with no water, no steam, no misting, and really giving some firm pressure to set this transfer into the fabric. And I'm not going to seal it. Now, a lot of times I think about where it's going to be in somebody's house. I don't think this will be in a wet room. I feel very confident that this is the way to go and not seal it. I think the sealer might maybe bubble up on top of the transfer and then soak into the fabric, and I don't think that would look even. I think this looks so much better, and I'm very confident that it will stay like this for a long, long time. Here's another fun little mistake. I cut the duck feet on the wrong end. Yes, I know they're dovetails. I like to say duck feet. It's more fun. So I have to figure out how to wrap that around the hanger, and it really was no big deal. I just wanted that's why I allow myself more space, because I'm gonna do stuff and now I can fix my stuff. This fabric is super duper thick and it doesn't want to fold over very easily. So I put my iron on it with a lot of pressure and I held it there. And then I actually sat there and just kind of watched it. I didn't leave my iron unattended like this, but I bet I left it for a good minute. I have a really thick, maybe 1 inch or 1.5 inch felt ironing pad there that my mama gave me. So I wasn't concerned, but be careful when you're ironing not to leave it unattended. But this is how I got it to have a good fold that I knew would stay when I put it around the wire and put my hot glue on it. I'm using Gorilla brand hot glue stick, and I am pushing it. It's so thick, it's not going through the fabric, but I want it to go up into those crevices as much as possible. So right here I'm using scissors, but I realized it's not very hot. So in the other ones, I just picked it up and I put my fingers like this right there. I guess I did it with this one too. And I couldn't, it was warm, but it was not hot at all. I made sure I didn't squeeze if there was a place where any glue was seeping out. So be careful with that. Man, listen to me telling you all these bad habits. No, don't listen to me. Oh my goodness. Okay, here, if you don't listen to anything else I say this entire video, here's what you need to hear. Always follow the manufacturer directions. Do not put yourself in danger. Wear the proper protective gear. Cover up your eyes and your fingers and whatever you need to do, do the safe thing, okay? Please. Thank you. There's really not much else to tell. I did these all the same, except for the length. I mean, I messed up the first one, but the other two, I just looked at the picture and I cut off how much fabric. I just felt like, if it needed a lot or a little compared to the transfer. In the future, I probably would do that different. I would probably figure out how they would hang on a wall and coordinate them that way. Like instead of doing them all duck feet, I might do a triangle. So the middle one would have the upside down triangle or the right side up triangle, and the other two would have the upside down triangle. I think that would look good. But anyway, I can't wait for my aunt to see these. I hope she gets a chance to see them in person. But if you don't, AJ, here you go. You can check them out in my video. Thank you. Love you. Project number 4. Here's another perfect description straight from IOD. Using the illustrations of Paul de Longpre, I think I got it right, by any other name, 8-page 8x12 transfer pad features a classic collection of roses paired with birds and butterflies. Sally sourced the antique prints directly from a dealer, selecting from a book of de Longpre's Rose Studies. A contemporary of Katerina Klein, his work was often compared to hers for its expressive handling of botanicals, though each artist had a distinct approach. We curated a selection of prints that preserve the character and detail of his original compositions. I was gifted this dish with a matching basket, and that'll be the second part of this project. But first, I'm painting this with Debbie's Cottage Color in Garden Sage. I thought about just doing this part, and immediately I knew it needed more, so I thought, well, maybe I'll go up the rim. And then I knew I just need to go all the way up to where that trim is. And I need a pretty straight line. So how I do that is I make sure I have enough paint on my brush, and I go almost to it and lay my brush down flat, and then I pull it sideways to where I want the straight line, and I get right up next to it, and I just keep pulling my brush sideways. And I keep doing that all the way around. I fill up the brush. If I have too much paint, I just wipe it off in the other paint and, use it later. I let the first coat dry, and then when I started adding the second coat, the craziest thing happened. And I'm going to speed it up so you can see it in time lapse. I did not stop or anything. This is what happened as I was painting the second coat. I don't know what just happened, but I think I do have a theory. We are having a lot of snow today, and the house is nice and warm enough, but I don't know if you can tell. I'm still wearing my fuzzy socks and my Christmas pajamas, and it's February. No, it's January 30th. Anyway, I think this is just cold enough in the house that it did that, and I'm leaving it. Oh my gosh, look, it's happening up here too. Oh, I wish it, well, I'm glad I'm okay if it doesn't happen everywhere, but I am digging that. Tell me if you've had experience with this, please. Let me know what's the key to making this happen. I was happy that when it got dry, it was still there. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to go ahead and put these birds on it like I had originally planned. So that's what I did. And I didn't do anything special. I put them on like I did a regular transfer, and they went on very easily. I thought maybe the Crackle would tear, or it's really big. It's like bigger than maybe a 16th of an inch or maybe a 32nd of an inch, but it sticks up. It's so hard to explain, but it's really, really cool. I burnished it with my finger, and I realized it needed something for those birds to be looking at in that empty space, so I added a little butterfly, and then I decided I need to seal this. I don't know what I'm messing with. This could be, it could just peel right off, right? So as I am putting liquid patina on it, it does it more. Yes, it did. I know. Shut the front door. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on here? So that was all I did. I was going to put a hanger on the back, but it looked really cute in this little plate holder I have. I may still put a hanger on, but honestly, I'm out. I ran out, so I had to order more. I'll put a link for those. I get them at Amazon, and they're pretty cool. But anyway, not as cool as this. Tell me if you know what happened here. I want to repeat this. Wouldn't you want to? For the second part of this project, I'm using Flora Greca. Let me tell you what IOD has to say about it. The Flora Greca 8-page 8x12 transfer pad takes its name from a 10-volume botanical masterpiece published between 1806 and 1840, often described as one of the most beautiful and ambitious works of its kind. We've incorporated several of the ornate frames from this historic collection, pairing them with artwork inspired by the detailed floral studies of Jane Landon, who was renowned for her precision and expressive botanical renderings. Together, these elements create a foundation that feels both sophisticated and true to its classical origins. I believe this is an old bread bowl. And my plan was originally to sell it with this, because this fits on top. And I got them together, so I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe somebody knows out there. As soon as I saw this bird, I knew it had to go into this basket. I didn't really know what I was going to do with it at this point, but it had to be there. The patina was perfect, and I was kind of thinking something dark and moody. I don't really do dark and moody. I love it. I think it's cool looking, but I just never end up doing it. And I started off that way, and you'll see, I didn't end up that way. So it was pretty easy to add this transfer. It didn't stick as easily as I thought it would, but it wasn't like horrific or anything. I just took a little bit longer. I want to decorate this with flowers and some ribbon, but I don't want it to be permanent because I want to change it up for the seasons. For right now, I put some drop cloth that I frayed. And yes, this is used drop cloth, so there might be some paint splattered on it. However, it's clean. I washed it with our laundry. I just wrapped it around and put the knot up here. And I didn't tie anything fancy. You could, but I just don't want it to look fancy. And down here, I have a nest. And I have a couple ideas. So here's idea number one. I pull this hydrangea through and kind of just smush the nest down inside it. And I actually really like how that looks. Idea number two is to put this arrangement in, and I would maybe just bend this, although I could separate those. Maybe I will separate those. Kind of big. Well, no, and it's down there. It's not quite as big. Maybe put the nest off to the side. I'm not sure. I also like some lavender, and I always call this lavender, but Nope, it says lavender, but I think it's something else. Look how different those are. One's from Dollar Tree and one's from someplace else. I don't know, that's too much. Anyway, that is all I did to this. I didn't shine it up or anything because I really like the patina. I did wash it. I washed it just by hand with regular soapy water that didn't get too sudsy. There you go. Okay, I kind of love what I did. I took apart one of those hydrangea flowers and I just put them through, and you can't even see those from the front. And I don't know, I guess if somebody got up on the side of it, maybe they could. And then I just sort of tucked in the nest, and I brought some of the flowers, oops, back up to the front. And I mean, that's it. After I'm not holding the phone with one hand, I will arrange them a little bit better. But I really do love this. This is one of my favorite things, and it was so easy. Holy hot tuna fish. I cannot believe how long this video is. I feel like I should apologize, but I look back at everything I put in it. Like all of the pictures of the new transfers, I had to include that. My husband's great tips for making things. And there's so many other things in here I feel like were warranted. So I feel good about what's in it. But if you look at this video, like this little jar right here, my mama made that. And I was going to do a project on it, and there's some other things in here too I didn't even include. And it's not like I didn't have time. I've been working my tail off, y'all. Getting this website ready and being snowed in was perfect timing, but I guess I just made too many things. Anyway, I ended up removing over 10 minutes of video. I can't believe it. I'm kind of embarrassed, and I'm thinking, well, why did you tell him? And then I thought, well, because if you ever want to know what Heather's thinking, just listen to her mouth. Yeah, I just hope y'all enjoy the video despite its length. And as you can see, we are working on other videos. We're doing molds, stamps, and the paint inlay. Mama and I will get those out as soon as we can. We are super glad that our regular viewers returned to watch this video. We are also welcoming our new viewers. We hope you'll become subscribers. We do have the greatest viewers. Just go check out our comments and you'll see what I'm talking about. Y'all, I can't even remember if I said we're doing the website. I did, right? It's spindlemountainmercantile.com. Please go check it out. We have all of our IOD on there, and we're going to add paint soon and some of the items we made. But you got to give us a minute because, whoo, we're both hot messes. Of course, we haven't been cold since 1993, so there's that. All right, until you see us next time, we hope you have a wonderful week. And as always, we hope you are blessed. Bye.